Let me show you one of the coolest projects that you can make with a Glowforge. Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and welcome back to Glowforge Week over here on my YouTube channel. Today we're going to make a super cool project, a custom stamp. It is one of my favorite things that you can do with the Glowforge. I'm amazed by it and I cannot wait to bring you guys along with me as I create a custom stamp that I can use over and over again. So we're going to head over to Design Space. We'll get the Glowforge all set up and let's start creating. All right, so we are back with our Glowforge software here, the online software. The first thing I want to do is import a piece of artwork. So I'm going to come right here. We're going to go to upload right here. This is the design. It is my logo that is going to be imported right here. We're going to size that thing right on down. Let's do, I'm thinking a 2-inch one makes sense. And if you can see, that is actually my logo right there. Very nice, the Scrappy Wife. Okay, now we're going to use the stamp making tool. What I have in my Glowforge right now is a piece of stamping rubber, which is pretty neat. So we're going to use that. I'm going to click the stamp maker right here. This is going to give me the padding around the edge. We want to add the edge. We're going to create the stamp. It should be ready to go. Love. Okay, so we're going to do this. This one is going to be engrave, and we're going to do orange rubber. And then this one, also orange rubber settings. You can change the settings on your Glowforge right here. You click over, adjust all the settings. There's all kinds of sites that help you figure out what is right and what is wrong. We're going to move this all the way down here to the edge to save as much space as humanly possible. I'm going to move it down even more. Okay, that looks pretty good. When we go to print, this will most likely take a pretty long time to print. These particular pieces tend to do that, so that's okay. We're going to get it all set up, get it ready to print, and then I can't wait to show you the final product. This is just a really cool thing to be able to create. Is this something you're going to be able to create like en masse and sell? Maybe not, because it really does take a nice long time to get it done. You can see 45 minutes. Let's see how this goes. All right, let's head over there. All right. 45 minutes is quite the time to get this cut done. This is probably a good time to let you know the tricky part about these long cuts is that you cannot leave your Glowforge unattended for any length of time. It is a real laser. Things can happen and you don't want to be in another part of the house. You certainly don't want to leave the premises with your Glowforge on or plugged in. And so this is when I just busy myself around the craft room. I've done a few projects like this where it is a longer cut. I just monitor it. I try to stay in the same room. I, can wander a little bit, but I come straight back and to double check that everything is going okay. So that is a tricky part for some of these longer cuts. And this is actually a pretty large size stamp in the end. So it did take a little bit of time to get it done, but totally worth it in the end. Now, as a crafter, being able to create a custom stamp is a pretty cool thing to be able to do. I would like to hear from you down below if you could create a custom stamp, a stamp that you would use over and over, or just a stamp that you have never seen before. What is it that you would make? What would you want to create? What kind of stamp would you want to have available to you? I'd love to hear down below. I say it all the time, but really the Glowforge, the cool thing about it is there are no limits. It's just your imagination. So if you need a stamp with a certain theme, a certain word, you can create it and have it ready to go. All you have to do is design it and cut it and get set to craft. So let me know down below, what kind of stamp would you create? What would the theme be? What would the size be? Let me know down in the comments. Now, I obviously sped up this process quite a bit. It is almost done. And then I'm going to explain what happens next. You can see it doesn't really look like anything right now, but there is a reason for that. And you'll see as soon as this wraps up and I'm able to open up the lid and show you what is inside. All right, it has finished cutting. It is a hot mess. This is completely filled with dust. What I'm going to do is take it, wash it off, and get it set, and then we're going to create a block that the stamp can go on. So let me go get this washed off and we will keep going. So we are ready to create the actual block. I want to actually detach these two things, ungroup, and this piece I want to cut, or sorry, move over here. This one we're just going to move off to the side, save it for another time. That is not going to be cut. And we need to change the material. So let's change it back to plywood that we were using before. This is still set to cut. And I want to import that same artwork again that we had before. Let's go to downloads. And once it's imported, we're going to bring it way on down so that it fits right here. I'm going to center these two so that it is right in the middle, and centers. Perfect. And engrave should be good. I could also do, yeah, that should work just fine. That'll get all together. Let's group those and then move it to the side. Get that ready to print. And this will be the block that we use to put the stamp together. Okay, here is the final product. Here's the stamp block. The stamp will go right on the back. We're going to go with, I'm just going to use Gorilla Glue. I think that will work just fine. So let's add a little bit of Gorilla Glue here to the back so that it will be nice and secure. Once that is on, I'm going to let it dry. Get it in place. Oops. Let it dry, and then I think we are ready to go. I could have used a thicker piece of wood probably for the block, but this is going to be fun to try out. So let's ink it up for the first time. Trying to make sure. It definitely takes ink differently when it is starting out. I don't know that all the parts are inked up. Let's give it a try. Put it down. Press. And there it is. Oh, that's going to be fun to play with and mess around with and see what happens. Let's try it again. This time I'm not going to press quite so hard. Oh, that's so fun. It's going to be so fun to play with. This is a very detailed stamp. I think there's a lot of different ways you can work with this, but it's so fun to see what you can create and to play with some really true custom items like this. I have made custom stamps for my Patreon members before with their names, which was a super cool gift we did one time. I just love the possibilities, and it's fun to kind of see what it is that you can put together. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for joining me for Glowforge week. If you have any questions, comments, definitely leave them down below. I'd love to have a discussion down there with you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. Otherwise, I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.